Yeah, not continually to study, just like study a few months and then stop for a few years and just like that. So, but this time I want to. I don't want to stop anymore because I don't want to feel regrets because of my English.
Ah, okay. I understand. So you want to keep progressing in your
Yes.
English.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, nice. Nice to hear. Hello, how are you today? I believe it's no, Shanghai?
Yeah, 小孩. Nice to meet you. Good morning.
Shanghai.
Oh, good evening.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good morning. Ah,
Where are you from?
oh no, it's okay.
Where are you
I'm
from?
from New York, but it's
Oh,
morning. It's morning
oh.
where you are. So good morning. Good morning to you.
Good evening for you.
And how are you today, Shanghai?
Oh, morning I go to park exercise and come back. I have my
Oh,
breakfast. Now I learn English. Okay. Be-
oh,
actually,
okay. So
actually,
it sounds like a
yeah, actually, I am
hmm?
retired. I am retired, so I don't need to
Oh,
work
okay.
every day.
Yes. So that's great to have that experience to wake up. Do you have a daily routine? Do you have a daily routine? You wake up, you go to the park, you have breakfast, and then
Yeah.
you come home?
Uh,
Okay, great. So how long have you been retired?
I
How
have
long?
retired 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
4 years.
Oh,
Okay. You were retired 4 years ago. Okay,
yeah.
excellent. Well, that's fantastic.
Oh, I
So we
paid.
just introduced it.
Yeah, I think uh, next next 2 weeks we go into a Mac. I go I
Oh,
my
okay. You're
I
going
and
to
my wife going to Mac and have a
okay.
traveling in Damp Day uh, uh, vacation with my son, and we
Oh,
paid to the
okay.
Washington D.C. and Boston and in Arca 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 Arcadia National Park. Arcadia National Park. In
Okay.
yeah. Ah,
Nice. So that sounds like you have a very nice trip planned or coming up in 2 weeks. All right.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Xiaohai.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And Sean, so continuing our conversation, so you
Hmm.
mentioned that you don't want to stop learning English. Tell me something that makes you happy. What makes you happy being Sean? What makes Sean happy
You mean studying English or what?
in your life?
Um, I'm a musician and I do music for a living. So when I'm doing my job, I feel very happy. I'm lucky. I can do whatever I want. And except the music, I do like play sports. I do like some kind of tennis or table tennis and badminton.
Okay.
When I play both, I
Hmm.
feel very happy, and I do like to do some extreme sport, such like snowboarding, skateboarding, or wakeboarding. When doing that
Okay.
extreme sports, I will feel very happy with that. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So it seems like you have a lot of things on your plate, so to speak. You like to do sports, you're also a musician. So, what would you say is your favorite? It sounds like you do a lot, but what is your favorite thing to do?
I mean, those sports were my favorite, and music is my first priority. And of course, I mean
Okay.
that's my personal habits. But if I with my family, the, the that's the best. That's the best happiest time for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what type of music do you do?
Pop music. I'm a music producer. I play music for arranging music. I produce music for others. So I mean, all kind of
Okay.
that pop music. Yeah, just like pop is
Okay.
pop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Wonderful. Well, nice. So great of you to share. Thank you, Sean. And
Thank you.
welcome to the class. All right. So, class, today we're talking about how stress can impact your health. So, I don't think that Xiaohai
Uh,
is stressed. It sounds like Xiaohai has a very relaxed routine, but it's still good to talk about stress. So, let's get started and our conversation for today. So, our preface. So, can we have Sean? Can you read this for us?
Sure. Uh, we all know that stress can significantly affect our health, and mostly in negative ways. Aside from the common effects people commonly associate with stress, there are a few more surprising health setbacks that are caused by high levels of stress. If you feel like stress is getting you down, learn some suggested stress busting tips in the lesson today to revive your health. Uh-huh.
Okay, good. So good reading flow. You kind of got stumbled at the end with expert suggested, but you stopped for a minute, went back, so that was good. Sometimes if we get stumbled, it's just stop, let's reverse and start again. So good job on that. So
Thank
with
you.
that, we have the thought of you're welcome with stress. So Xiaohai,
uh,
what are some health problems that are commonly associated with stress? What would you say? What are some health problems that are associated with stress?
oh, if you have a day stretch, sometimes you don't sleep in the evening, and sometimes you eat, you don't enjoy you eat. Uh, Maybe some people he have this trail. He like to drink alcohol, drink alcohol.
Yeah, all right, let's try that. Overindulge
Yeah,
in alcohol. hmm All right, good points. Nice. Good group of three. So it's our sleep. We may start to starve ourselves with food. We don't eat much, and
yeah.
we may overindulge or have too much alcohol. That's true. Have you ever been troubled with stress problems before? Maybe when you were working, Shanghai?
Yeah,
What would you say?
I think when I was work, sometimes I have the trouble with the trail. A job I worry I don't can finish my work, and uh, I worry my boss uh, don't 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 like me, and I sometimes I worry my colleague he don't they don't like me, so uh, when I will work, I have some the problem about this trade.
Oh, okay. So it was a lot of stress at your job and just worrying
Mm.
about what other
But
people think about you. But I want to make that correction
but
for you,
now
Shanghai. So
but
you
now I am
weren't.
retired. I don't have all these problem.
Oh, yeah. So you don't have the stress anymore. Good point. So, Shanghai, I noticed with your speaking that sometimes you don't change your verbs. So your verb tense, I want you to work on your verb tense. All right. So for example, you mentioned my boss don't
Yeah.
like me.
I don't
Well,
like
this
me.
happened in the
Oh,
past.
oh, thank you.
So doesn't
Doesn't.
like. My boss doesn't like me.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so just changing that, but just making sure when you're speaking, thinking about the verb. Did this happen in the past? How do I change that verb to show past tense form?
Doesn't.
All right, so I've noticed that a couple of times, but overall good. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Sean, so for you, with you working as a producer, I'm sure with music you have a lot of demands. What are your ways of coping with stress at work?
I go sport, or sometimes I just take some holiday and go abroad for some sightseeing and just forget it, just relieve my stress. And then, but I always done my job in the right time, so I will never just facing it and work with others and then see how can we figure out the problems or our goals. Because working with the artist, that's sometimes very stressful, but you have to earn their belief and trust. So sometimes we are just like doctor. When you have to talk to artists, we have to convince them what kind of the music style we are making right now. We are doing the right trend or not. Whatever. But I was when I'm dealing with stress, I just talk with others, and then if I can't get through, I just try to take a few days off and then clean my mind and then go back to work again. It helps always. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Well, that's good. That's good that you have some type of routine to help you with that, because stress can kill a person. So it's really good when we have a good balance of how to handle that. All right, nice. So I noticed too with you when you mentioned earn their belief, earn their
Yeah.
trust. So trust would be the better word to use, because it's to build faith in someone, to believe in them. So belief is when we have a thought about someone, maybe something religious,
Yes.
or even about a politician. It's something that we have. So trust would be more so the proper word to describe the situation that you were
Thank you.
speaking of. Because, all right, good. You're welcome. All right, so now, Xiaohai, we have some vocabulary words. Can
Okay.
you read these for me?
Okay. Set
The
back.
first two.
Set back. A problem that they delays progress or make things grow endeavor. Insomnia, chronic inability to sleep.
Okay, good. So I like how you pronounce that word, inability. You really try to enunciate those vowel sounds.
Oh.
That's important, class. We may see a word we've never seen before, but don't fear if you don't know it. Just thinking about the sounds, the phonics in English, we can actually pronounce these words. So let's stop for a second and look at this word here, cr. So we know that CH is a K sound. Chronic.
Yeah.
So chronic inability.
Chronic inability.
I'm hearing an L sound. Nick. Chronic. Nick. No chronic. Nick.
Chronic.
Yes, there we go. Chronic. All right. And worse. So just working on your W sound. Worse.
Thank you.
Makes things worse. Worse.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. You're welcome. All right. And Sean, can you do plummet and obesity?
Plummet to suddenly and quickly decrease in value or amount. Upset when someone weighs too much in a way that is unhealthy.
Okay, so that one is
Obesa-
obesity.
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 Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
So 4 syllables there, obesity. So obesity is just as it's mentioning
Fat.
when someone weighs too much in a way that's unhealthy. Ah, Xiao Hai just summed it up. He said fat.
Fat.
But yeah, we try to say a nicer term is
Obese.
obese. Someone is obese. Yes, there's the
Obese.
word obese. We say we feel a little obese, or if someone is obese. But fat can be a little mean to certain people we don't know. If you say, "Oh, you're fat," not very nice. But yes, you're right, Xiaohai, fat. But plummet is just like something, it falls suddenly, really quick. It just starts to decrease. Maybe our weight starts to plummet, goes down. We may be stressed so much. We may have been fat and our weight plummets very quickly. We start to lose a lot of weight in an unhealthy way. So, yeah, that would be the way to describe that. Insomnia is when we cannot sleep. We are tired. We want to go to bed. We're in the bed, but we can't sleep. That's that insomnia. We can't go to sleep. And setback is just maybe, for example, we may be trying to work out, exercise, or we're learning English and we get distracted and we stop. Or things happen and it just delays our progress of becoming better in English. We have minor setbacks on the way. So things that kind of get in the way of our life, some distractions, those are setbacks. Does anyone have questions about the vocabulary?
No question.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for your explanation. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, great. So now we have spree and subtle. All right. Xiaohai,
Okay.
can you read
Spring.
and subtle?
Spring, a short period of time in which one does a lot of one activity. Normally, drinking alcohol or spending money. Subtle, slight, and not immediately or obvious.
Obvious.
Obvious. Okay. Immediately.
Immediately. So something immediately is fast. I need this done immediately, like right now. Let's go. Immediately. And so obvious is like something that's clear, something we can see. But notice it says not immediately obvious. So this is not something that's quickly seen. Okay, so it happens very subtle. We don't notice it until it's too late. Subtle. All right, and spree, for example, for ladies, it's typically what we call a shopping spree. We spend a lot of money on clothes, or maybe people like to spend a lot of money on airplane tickets to go traveling around the world. They just do something in excess for a short period of time. All right, so our next part we'll have Sean, out of whack and compatible.
Out of whack, not working properly, not functioning correctly. Compatible, able to exist and perform together without any problems.
Okay, good. So out of whack is a phrasal verb that's used at times, just showing something's not working. So maybe our car or our phones, our computers are out of whack. so to speak. They're not doing what we need them to do. So we say, oh, this thing is out of whack. It's just a phrasal verb, just meaning it's not working like we want it to. And then compatible is just something that can work well together. Maybe even a couple, a man and a woman, they may be compatible, they work well together, not many problems. Or even dealing with people who work well at work or in business. All right, so that's compatible. All right, stress level. Xiao Hai, can you read for us?
Okay. Stress level. Stress may increase the risk of heart diseases, contribute to weight again, and the case insomnia or depression. What a lot of people may not know is that high levels of stress could also cause your immune system to plummet, making you more likely to catch cold. According to some experts, in order to keep home life as stress-free as possible, it is essential for adults to keep their workload within manageable limits and to address unmet physiological needs in their personal relationships.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Nice reading place so that you were able to pronounce the words properly. That's good, especially when we're reading. Sometimes it can feel intimidating, but it's important. When we're learning a new language, we need to read, we need to speak, and we need to write. So thank you, Xiao Hai, for
You're
doing the
welcome.
reading. Also, too, let's practice that word cause.
Cause.
Yeah, the
Cause.
AU and
Cause.
AW make the sound.
Cause.
So cause. All right. But overall, good pace so that you can pronounce your words. You didn't read too fast, so thank you for that. So that's stress level. It's quite dangerous. As it mentions, we can catch a cold from stressing so much. We can start to gain weight, or as Xiao Hai says, we can get fat. So the stress levels are not good. Sean, can you give an example of an unmet psychological need in like a personal relationship? What do you think, Sean?
It could be any, like in your work and in your partnership, or should I say, like family. When you have those, when you have unmet psychological needs. Actually, I'm not quite understand the whole questions about. Can you just give me some example for that? What do you mean? It's like when you unmet psychological need, you're facing on the personal. You're like you're getting worse with your personal relationship, or what?
So it's for an individual, it could be someone's thoughts. It could mean basically something in general of how the way they're living, their self-esteem may be very low, and they don't have enough support or feel safe with their friends and family around them.
Mm-hmm.
It could also be their creativity. They
Mm-hmm.
may have some psychological needs of feeling like they need to be creative, but it's unmet. They're not achieving those
Yes.
goals.
Mm-hmm.
Their confidence, also friendships may not be going so well.
I see. So in this situation, they would start to like question themselves or what?
So with the question here, it says, can you give an example?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things I mentioned, those are examples of
Yes.
unmet psychological needs. So like self-esteem
Mm-hmm.
issues. What else did I mention? Oh, family relationships,
Yes.
creativity,
Yes.
and others. So those are just 3 examples of unmet psychological needs, because people want to have a high self-esteem. They want to feel good
Yes.
about themselves, but it may be
Mm-hmm.
unmet due to stress. They don't, and with all the stress, they may feel unworthy of things, that they cannot be great.
You probably get disease from that, because sometimes you can feel very sad. You can feel you are working alone in the company or school or whatever. So yeah, that will make you depression.
Yes. And with that comes the children. When they're growing up in a home with both parents or just one, how would parental tension affect a child's growth? That tension meaning the parent doesn't really give them accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
It may be always negative. How does that affect a child's growth?
I think that will affect the child's to believe themselves, and they won't have a self-confidence, and they will influence their. I think that's the. He might not be he might not be a brave kids, because if the family put too much tension on that, and even they would definitely definitely influence their developing from their childhood. But it's difficult to explain in English. But I know exactly what you mean. I don't like the
Okay.
that action to the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's true. It can really affect them in their self-confidence and the way that the generation is going. A lot of them are doing self-infliction things. So it
Yes.
can really be a negative feel. All right. Thank you for sharing, Sean. So, Xiao Hai, our next question is, what are some good ways to keep your workload within manageable limits? So I know you're not working anymore, but thinking of the past, what was a good balance for you?
Oh, I
Like
think
your life balance and work balance.
yeah, I think if you don't so high level goal of your job, you can feel so much stress, so much stress, so much stress. Yeah. Oh, it like me when I work, I don't every day think I can get the highest salary. You don't every day think these things. So I done so much high level for me job, for me work. Now I don't have so much stress. If you every day you think I can get the high salary, I can win the many money. I think you find
It's true. It's true. Some people stress themselves wanting more money,
More money,
and
yeah.
there are a lot of ancient proverbs that teach us that reaching out for more money can also be the root to injuries to ourselves. Not literally, but it can harm us to the point where we're fighting for all the money, but we harm other people around us, so to speak. So yeah, good point. Thank you, Xiaohai. Very
You're welcome.
good wisdom to pass. All right. And Sean, can you read problems for us? Problems.
Problems, according to a recent study from a university in Sweden, over 7,500 families that are under high levels of stress caused by tragedy or something as general as the pressures of parenting make their children twice as likely to develop obesity during their younger years. Often, how we deal with stress as adults has a lot to do with how we dealt with stress as children, because we are often conditioned by old events or processes. People tend to follow old parents subconsciously instead of really dealing with their problems. What you can do is trying to recognize and understand your bad habits in dealing with stress. Okay.
So interesting facts from Sweden about how our stress as a child can affect how we handle stress as an adult as well. So practicing that word conditioned.
Conditioned.
The word
Conditioned.
Yes, there you go. Yes, so just a note, class, for words. I'll type that. Words that, oh, I don't like that color. Let's change the color so you can see a little better. Okay, so.
Okay, pink color.
There we go. Words that end with the letters T or D. Okay, so this is for past tense words. This will help you with your pronunciation skills, Sean and Xiaohai.
Okay.
So if the word ends with a T or D, we add a voiced syllable.
Oh.
And what I mean by that is, for example, the word want, we'll say wanted. The word need, ends with a D, needed. So condition ends with an N. So when we add that past tense, it will be conditioned. Conditioned. Not conditioned. It's not conditioned, it's conditioned.
Conditioned.
So you notice only when it ends with a T or a D, you're welcome, is when we'll add that voice syllable. If there's no T or D and then it's past tense, it's just one syllable. Shund. All right, good. And then obesity, OB. So just remember, separate those letters. O, B.
Obesity.
Yes, so 4 syllables for that one. I'll write that, 4 syllables. All right, great. So let's go into our question form of this part. Xiaohai, what are some of your bad habits when you're coping with stress? What are some of your bad habits?
I think I don't have the bad habit when I copy with train. I don't like the people drink alcohol, shopping, pay the money. Well, I don't like.
Okay, so you.
But I like enjoy music. Sometimes if I have the stress, I enjoy the music. I like the classic music, like the classical music, like the Mozart, the music. It's really nice way for you relaxed.
Okay, yeah, nice. I like to listen to music too. Classical music is good. Music does control our mood. We listen to fast pace. We typically do things a little faster. Slow music, we may be in a somber, wanting to rest. So yeah, definitely, I can agree with you there. Listening to the right kind of music. So, what do you think a lot of people, why do you think a lot of people binge eat or go on shopping sprees when they're stressed?
Oh,
Why do you think people
I
do
think
that?
the people he think by this way can feel relaxed and forget all the trouble, the trouble, the problem. Yeah. So uh, the men like drink alcohol, the beer. The woman like
Hmm.
shopping, like my wife.
Ah, okay. So for me, I like to cook. I cook a lot more when I'm stressed. So I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like to cook or make apple pie when I'm stressed. I'll make some apple pie and then I'll eat the ice cream with it. So yeah, I understand. And Sean, do you agree with the statement that the way we react to certain situations is conditioned by how we dealt with situations in the past? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, probably from your parenting. Yeah, how your parents educate you, and you always follow the same way. Sometimes in your subconscious. Yeah, I we don't agree our parents, but we do the thing like our parents to our kids. So that's what I
Hmm.
thought. So, but I think we need to correct out our behaves for that.
Yeah. Our behavior.
Yeah,
Behavior.
behavior.
Correct our behavior. hmm All right. Yes. Good point. Yes, that's true. We want to correct our behavior when doing that. That can affect the children and how we grow up. All right. So,
Okay.
Xiao brain capacity. Can you read for us?
Brain capacity. Uh, research, researchers at the
Researchers.
researchers at the New Year's NY will
In wise. In wise.
advise will Cornell Medical College conduct conduct an experiment on a group of stress medical students that will pre- that will preparing to take their both exams. The students will asked to complete a simple test while their brain were being scanned. The scanning results clearly indicate that the stressed medical student had low activity in the area of the brain associated associated with
Associated.
or associated with
Hmm.
judgment, attention, and task planning compared with the result from another group of students with normal level of stress. Expand so that by making subtle improvement,
Hmm.
improvement to your daily routine, you can hope less the effects of a strain, especially during extremely stressful periods of your life.
All right, great. Thank you.
Improvement.
All right, so okay, associated.
Associated.
Okay, so remembering that past tense that we mentioned, it doesn't end with a T, but the T is before the E. So we still add that voice syllable, class, for those past tense words that we talked about last slide, associated. And improvements is that word.
Improvement.
Yes, improvements. Yes, good. There you go. Thank you. All right, so what do you think are important things to include in a daily routine, Sean? What do you think? What's important to have in our daily routine?
Keep you organized, and then you can always follow the routines to do the things, and especially the good daily routines.
Okay, so we want to say keep organization. So organize would be the verb. So we want to be organized is what you can say. Be organized. If you want to use it as the
keep
verb.
your organization.
Keep organization. Organization. There we go.
Cool.
Had to enunciate that word to spell it right. Keep organization or be organized. So different words in the use of it as a noun or a verb. And why do you think it's hard for most people to stick to this routine?
Because lazy.
Because they're lazy. All right, good point. It could be a little difficult because they are lazy. All right. And Xiaohai, do you feel stressed when your daily routine of going to the park, reading, having breakfast, do you feel stressed when it's out of whack?
Yeah, I think. Sometimes you don't sleep today night. Maybe you feel distressed. So you often think these things, think another things. So you feel, you worry everything. So you don't sleep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you have that insomnia, our vocabulary word, insomnia. But also, Xiaohai, do you think that that depression is a lot more people is due to on-the-job demands?
Yeah.
At work?
Yeah, I think, many people, so he feel the traces in his job, in his work, because he have too high level goal for his job. A job, I must get the so money, the high salary, and the boys give me you so
the salary again.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's true, we should just be a little more simpler. Would you agree? Living simpler, having a simpler mindset.
Okay.
You agree? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
All right,
yeah,
Sean, can you read? Okay. All right, Sean, can you read our last part? Establish a good workspace.
Establish a good workspace. There are various ways to make your workspace more compatible with how you want to feel. Many people put out photos of their loved ones, invest in an indoor plant, or listen to calming music. It's important to step away from your desk a few times a day. You could even get up to do a little stretching by an open window. If you're feeling overloaded with work, take some deep breaths. Deep breaths. I need you deep breaths or with the S sound.
Deep breaths.
Okay, deep breaths. Prioritize your unfinished work and set a realistic goal for yourself.
All right, good. Thank you. Yeah. So the word with an E is breathe.
Yes.
And if it's no E, it's breath.
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 So how about this plural with the S? The breath.
Breaths.
Breath.
Breaths.
So without sound or with the breaths?
Breath.
So take deep breaths.
Okay,
Breath.
got it. Breath.
So you want to have that.
Yes.
Yes.
Breath.
Breath.
Yes. Very quickly.
Yes.
That sound.
Yes, very quickly. It's a quick sound. Well, good. This was a really good lesson in class for both of you. I think you were very descriptive. You expressed yourself well. I loved hearing your thoughts because it got me to hear your sentence structure. So I would say for both of you to work on your sentence structure. For Sean, when you use nouns and verbs, just making sure the root and the subject is correct. And for Xiao Hai, for your sentence structure, I would say the past tense form, your verb tense.
Okay.
So working on that. But overall, very good lesson today, gentlemen. It was a pleasure to have you, and I hope you have a great morning and afternoon.
Thank you, Daisha.
Thank
have a
you.
great day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.